Alrighty. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I am in Hawks cosplay for just a little while. I just got through making content, so if you have any questions or anything you want to talk to, feel free to ask. I'm just kind of like trying to set everything kind of up a little bit and just kind of like chat and chill for a little bit. Let me get everything here. So, boom, boom. All right. All right. All right. Let's see what else. I wish I had some music, but that's alright. Yeah. I wish I could have had some music going, but that's okay. But I'll probably just be on for probably an hour or so. Yeah, I'm not gonna stay on too long. I wish I had got on like earlier, but I wanted to finish what I was needing. But let's see. Next cosplay coming up will be It's Death from A Gunna Got Killed. So that'll be the next cosplay because that was like the winner up for that vote back when it was done. So I'm hoping I get all of that together. But S Death will be the next cosplay coming up when I get a chance. Hi, how you doing? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. Like I said, I'm just kind of like chilling and doing a live. I got through with doing some Hawks content, and so yeah, I'm doing great. What about you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm kind of happy that I was finally able to get into Hawks because this is kind of like something I've been wanting to do for like quite some time. And so I'm really happy about it. And also, it's been a busy week. I would say I'm doing fair. Not great, but fair. Hey, how you doing? What's up? Welcome. How you doing? But if any of y'all got any questions y'all like to ask, feel free. I don't just do Hawk cosplay. As you can see on my pen videos, and I do pretty much a lot of characters for MHA. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you for the fan heart. Thank you, thank you so much. But I do other characters from MHA, not just Hawks. It's kind of like a side quest project. Which cosplay are you going to do next? Love your content. Thank you, thank you. The next cosplay is actually part two to the vote. I had S Death from Gane Kill. That is the next cosplay I'm actually gonna do. Because it was a vote vid that I did like a couple of weeks ago, and Hawks ended up winning. I believe it was 55 to like 43 to 45. So S Death will be the next cosplay that is coming up. So S Death will be our next cosplay that I'm planning to do. And besides the Cookie Run cosplay that I just did, which is Herb Cookie, I hope to try to start working on actually a Fantasy OC cosplay. If I get some time to do that. I kind of been busy for the past couple of weeks. So, so I'm hoping that maybe eventually I'll maybe get a chance to actually get started on that project. I just need to work on the wig for that though. So it's gonna take me a little bit to kind of work on the wig, and possibility I may be making a prop. I'm not sure. We'll see how all of that works out and if I still have materials left. So, but it's definitely Magana Got Killed is the next cosplay that'll be coming after Hawks, but I will post my Hawks content that I made over time for the rest of the weekend and some of the week, and then I'll probably work on if I have some more time. I won't say probably maybe next Friday or or earlier. I get into SDEF. So, but those are the cosplays that I am working on. And of course, like I said, I do a lot of MHA cosplay that I could get back in. I would love to see a Kirishima cosplay. I actually do Kirishima cosplay. I do have a lot of videos I made on that. I'll probably repost one of those so you can see that. But I do regular Kirishima and Hero Kirishima, and I also do Dragon Kirishima. So that's another set of Kirishima cosplays that I do, but I can always eventually later on put that on the list to do more. But I will repost one of my Kirishima videos so you can see um I guess the Kirishima and Dragon Kirishima. But I got you on that one. But if anybody got any other questions they like to ask me, what about villain Kirishima? I did do probably a few on villain Kirishima. I have to see if I still had though. I used to do a lot of villain Kirishima, but unfortunately it was on my first account that unfortunately got banned due to harassment and bullying and threats. So I did lose kind of like a little significant amount of my content, and that was mainly villain Kirishima. But yes, I do villain MHA. I think I do have at least probably maybe one video that I did have all of the villain MHA that I did so far, especially with like Deku, Kirishima, um, Dinky, um, I believe Dinky and Mina was the ones at that time. So yeah, thank you for the share, much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. But yeah. I do a lot of MHA cosplay, and I will be eventually getting back into doing all of that again. I just kind of like decided to take a break and do some other cosplays for a while, and also I do Genshin cosplays as well. Um, I hope that maybe the one day I'll be able to do either Withering Waves or Honkai Star Rail eventually one day, but that's another project that's down the road. Got to save up for those. But I will try to definitely post at least a few on Kirishima or repost on some videos that I did of Kirishima. So I got you on that one. But I'm hoping to do some other cosplays from other animes as well soon. But like I said, with tariffs and everything going on right now, it's kind of a little bit struggle for cosplayers right now. Especially especially since all of that is kind of affecting our cosplays right now. Because I oh no. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I will appeal this, but I don't really care. They sent me a notification on TikTok about my live. Hi, hey, what's up? So, meaning somebody came through and reported my live just now, but that's alright. That's alright. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. But I'm still going on and talk what I got to talk. I don't care. With the tariffs and everything, when cosplayers try to order materials and other stuff to try to, because I try to do more of closet cosplay or try to make my cosplays most of the time. Like this Hawks, is pretty much a closet cosplay, except for like the shirt, pretty much. But everything else, wig, kind of pieces together, um, glasses like industrial, outdoor, lawn glasses. You know, I like to come up with my stuff for cosplays on a budget. But unfortunately, sometimes when I'm trying to order material and other stuff, then yeah, it does affect how a cosplayer is able to cosplay. And I know a lot of cosplayers, including myself, we had plans set up for other cosplays, but unfortunately the manufacturer returned most of our money back because they couldn't ship it. I love your cosplays, but have you ever tried to do realistic anime makeup? Actually, I don't really do too much in makeup because I have a makeup allergy, and I really do need to be careful on what makeups I put on my face because they can highly actually break out my skin into bumps, and they cause a lot of can also form blisters, and it'll take weeks for it to heal. Is that house looking fresh? Hey, Alana, how you doing? What's up? Yes, fresh and clean, fresh and clean. How you doing? But yeah, I do have to be really careful about what makeups I do because I have really super sensitive skin. So unfortunately, I can't really do like all the makeup stuff like the other cosplayers do when it comes to like as far as I could get so far was the eyeliner. That was about all I can closely get. Um, and I ran out of the other orange tint kind of orange tint kind of makeup that I wanted to kind of use that was kind of working for me, but also at the same time I had trouble finding it. So it might be because it's like been a couple of years. They probably don't really make that kind anymore. So I probably have to end up redoing some research and looking for it. I have sensitive skin too. It runs in my family. I can't really use makeup either. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, so that's kind of like some of the reason I mostly go mainly natural when I do most of my cosplays, just because just the skin irritation, and if I don't be careful, I end up getting black spots on my face, which I've already have, due to just uh even a simple mix up of I got in contact with somebody else's makeup that was in my makeup, and it just so yeah. So it is like I really do want to kind of like go and do all the kind of like really cool makeup that everybody doing, and all the cool makeup trends and all that stuff, but it's just really hard to do that with really super sensitive skin. And also I don't want it to end up turning into any kind of type of allergic reaction and stuff, and have to end up going to the hospital, because I already go I already spent most of my life in the hospital already. I really don't want to go back. But yeah, I make it work, but I do try to occasionally incorporate some makeup. Most of the time, I try to incorporate makeup when I'm doing more like Genshin cosplays. And another old cosplay that I did was Shishomaru from Iliasha. So yeah. So yeah, I'm still trying to find me a couple of products to kind of like still be able to do makeup with, but unfortunately, yeah. So I really do kind of have to be careful about what makeups I use, or any type of stuff for that matter, especially when it comes to my face. I don't mind, like sometimes I will get skin blemishes, but they usually be arms or something like that. So I can cover that up, or get some simple makeup to cover that in. But otherwise, yeah. So I would like to do more in cosplays and add makeup. But I think the only ones that I kind of like really focus on doing makeup on is is Genshin. Genshin right now. Yeah, Genshin is about the only setup that I do right now, for like if I might go into elaborate makeup of any kind. So yeah. But if anybody else has any other questions, please feel free to ask. So otherwise, like I said, I have Estef for Gama Got Killed. It's the next cosplay in a fantasy hmm, fantasy OC. I say fantasy OC. I'm still in the process of trying to figure out a name for that OC and what kind of look I'm going for. I got the materials together. I just need to put everything together. But yeah, and that's why I kind of like just uh kind of stick with them, but I will be getting back on MHA content eventually. Oh, excuse me. Allergies. I will be getting back into MHA probably soon. Another set of characters I do from MHA is also I do Aizawa and Present Mike. But I don't do the hero Present Mike. I do a villain Present Mike. So, cause I don't really I don't quite have I would probably need to get a wig to kind of like be able to style one up to do present mic. So it's kind of like I'm gonna have to wait till I could save up and try to work on styling a present mic wig. But I definitely do Aizawa, and that's one of my other cosplays that I do from MHA that I enjoy. But if anybody got any questions, feel free to ask. I'll try to see if I can get some music up for a little bit, since it really doesn't matter now since somebody reported my live. So thank you, Zora, for the likes. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. But I'll try to see if I can get some music going. I appreciate the likes. Thank you so much. I'm gonna try to see if I can get some music going. So bear with me, y'all. Let's see. Let me see in my library what we get. I really do need to make a new playlist too, but I'll go with the old schooly one. It's about to go down. Are you ready? Are you? Yes, let's go. It goes right foot. It goes left foot. All right. So we're gonna have a little bit of music for a while. And just like I'm gonna sit back and chill. But if anybody got any questions, it don't have to be about it could be about cosplay. I do I talk about anime. I do some drawing. I haven't done a lot of drawing in a long time. I need to get back into it, so haven't done drawing in a long time. I do post some of my content also on Anime Nights page. I'm sharing a page with them just in case I have problems with people trying to report my content and get it taken down. I got a backup place to post, so occasionally I'll post on there when I can. But and I also do video games as well. I play Genshin. Other day I did Honkai Star Rail stream. I haven't done a Withering Waves, and I also do Cookie Run. Even though I need to do a Withering Waves stream or Cookie Run, but I'm waiting for Cookie Run to come up with a new banner, so I can summon, because I done pretty much got all the cookies for that current banner, or at least got one cookie of each. Now, the one that I kind of went crazy on was Manju Cookie. That was kind of like one that, they had been talking about for a long time, so I really wanted that one, because it was kind of like, rumored and talked for so long to finally see it out there. But yeah, I'll probably do some in between content, for gaming. I also have a YouTube that's strictly kind of gaming. It's gaming and cosplay, so I do post some of my cosplay from here over on my YouTube. So kind of like to keep a place over there. Um, uh, mm, let's see. Mm, I don't know what I was gonna say. But I'm working on posting on there. So if anybody got any questions, feel free to ask. I usually ask most questions, so yeah. So I mostly ask. You can ask me anything, cosplay wise. And like I said, Hawks is a closet cosplay that I've been working on. Now I do have the wings, but I actually never finished the wings. I I never finished the wings. Um, I had the feathers and everything and stuff to try to make the wings, but it became kind of like I had to try to figure out because the wings were a little more flexible. So maybe one day I eventually probably make a set of wings where it's kind of like a cover that goes over the fake wings. So eventually maybe I'll probably get into Hawks one more time. When I actually end up having the wings, the only thing is I'm not cutting up my jacket to try to fit that stuff through because um this is a closet, something I done had in the closet for a while, and I just don't think I'm gonna end up finding anything else. I don't think I'm gonna end up finding anything else to kind of like that I would be comfortable with cutting to try to fit some wings through. So, but eventually, I at least want to at least eventually get that done. But for now, I'm really happy on how my Hawks came out. I haven't done them in a very long time either. But I do enjoy doing Hawks, I was kind of a little apprehensive about doing Hawks because of how people act with Hawks and just MHA cosplayers in general. Just because I done had some like really bad experiences with other MHA cosplayers. So it kind of like for a while I had to step back to get back into enjoying MHA cosplay again due to those situations and um seeing a couple of people who do Hawks cosplay and how a lot of people be trying to have them do a lot of content that might be uncomfortable for some people as well, instead of just like doing a simple video with the person duetting them, and doing the cosplay and that's it. So you do have that kind of issue, especially with the especially with MHA cosplays. Yeah, I mean, I also do sometimes spicy content every once in a while, but at the same time, I just like to do regular content because it's fun. I don't have to think about nothing and just kind of like chill and enjoy myself doing cosplay. but I did have to step back for a while because it did start to get a little bit uncomfortable with how people especially was treating the Hawks cosplayer and Bakugo cosplay too. I kind of had to step away from both of them for a while just due to, how people was acting. But eventually, like I said, I got back into Hawks and um, I'll probably simplify my Bakugo cosplay a little bit more because it's just like it's a really lot of stuff to put on. Like that is a lot of stuff to put on. So I'll probably be working on simplifying that. And as far as Deku, I'm probably gonna go back with the World Mission Deku cosplay, but I gotta find another one because I ordered the one that I ordered that I did the Deku Mission cosplay in. It came in kind of like not really that good. I wouldn't say good. It was in good condition, but just like the stitch work and stuff, keeping it together was not that great. So I will have to like either try to find another suit or um either try to dismantle that suit and make a whole entire uh, new suit, which that will I've done it before, but I'm still practicing. I do sew, but I wouldn't say my sewing skills is like just it take me a time, and also it depends on the type of stitch and the material. So I probably had to change the type of needles and all that stuff. I would love to learn how to use a sewing machine, but I'm so old school, so so I ain't gonna so yeah. So but yeah, so I definitely be getting back into MHA cosplay again. I'ma just have to figure out who I'ma do with the time that I have because I am in the middle of switching jobs and possibly maybe picking up a second job. So so yeah, I will have to definitely work out my schedule for cosplay. And like I said, this is not my first time being on here. Just unfortunately, my account got banned, so kind of just starting over again. So I get on and post when I can and do lives when I can. So I just decided to come on live in Hawks because I got done with content that I'm gonna post for the weekend and some of the week, and then I get into the next cosplay if I have a day off next week to do things. But S-Death is the next one that's gonna be done. And so but I definitely will eventually get back into bringing more MHA because that is the majority of my cosplays is MHA. Cause I have done not only Hawks, I do Aizawa, like I said, Villain Present Mike. I did all versions of Deku, two versions of Bakugo. I do Kirishima, Dragon Kirishima, and whoa, Hawks. Hey, Maria, how you doing? What's up? Welcome, welcome. But yes, Hawks from MHA. Yeah. I decided to get back in this cosplay for a while. And you know, do a couple of things with some wings that I found on Amazon, and just see how it works here. Hi girl. Hey Toki, how you doing? What's up? How you been? What's going on with you? What's up? But I would definitely be love the cosplay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm really happy to be back in Hawks because uh, I was trying a few new different things on it, so I thought I'd give it a try. Good. How about you? I will say I am doing fair. Not the best, but I'm doing better. So fair, fair. But everything's been going okay, fair enough and stuff. It's just that I've been a lot of busy with stuff, so I haven't had a chance to like get in cosplay again. So and plus life is lifing. So I'm like really happy to just kind of like get back into hot cosplay again and kind of like chill again. So you know, hopefully I'll be able to do the other two cosplays that I had planned that everybody voted on. Cause Hawks was one of the ones that everybody voted on. So that was kind of like Herb Cookie won the first part of it. And then Hawks was like next on the other vote vid. So then Isdale will be next, and then I do have a fantasy OC. I'm trying to see if I can get it together because unfortunately some of the materials that I had that I was gonna make for my fantasy OC and like kind of make from scratch, it ended up getting refunded due to tariffs. So because they couldn't ship it out. So a lot of cosplayers are scrambling, including myself, to try to figure out what we gonna do for cosplay content with everything gone. So I appreciate everybody being so patient about, you know, us taking a while for us to do cosplays and just let me take a while to get everything together so I can get back into cosplay. But I'll definitely get back into doing MHA cosplay. Now would I do a whole bunch of videos? Depending on my time, I'll probably be slimming down how many videos total I do. But I still want to get back into doing MHA altogether. But I do have like two other cosplays that I didn't really start the project on, so they might have to be till next year. Which was Withering Waves, and I was trying to do another Genshin. What other characters do you do in cosplay? I do a lot of characters. I've the last one that I did was Herb Cookie from Cookie Run. I did have another idea for another cookie for Cookie Run. I've done Ilyasha and Shishomaru from Ilyasha, and I also cosplay Kikyo. Um, I've done cosplays from I mean, I have done a Super Mario OC. I kind of want to get back into doing Super Mario stuff too. Not just that. Um, let's see what else. I've done so many cosplays, it's ridiculous. But mainly, I've been doing Genshin. It's kind of like for the most part of my work lately. So that's been Zhongli. I did a casual version of Zhao. I did Sino. I also do a casual cosplay of Tanari from Genshin Impact. And I also done three other versions of Kaya. I did the OG Kaya Black Sails with the new outfit skin, and then I did a vampire look for Kaya, because at one point an artist did like a crossover of Genshin with Sephiroth at the end, and I also do Mika. Makala, Mika, Hakia from Sephiroth of the End, and I also do Ashimaru from Sephiroth of the End as well. And I did a collab mix with all three of them together, doing those cosplays too. And I haven't done this cosplay in a couple of years, but also I do Sailor Jupiter from Sailor Moon. I haven't done her in a lot of years, but because I need to actually work on the dress. But yeah, I actually wanted to end up also doing Sailor Pluto too, but unfortunately just budget and trying to find sizes or material to either make it or find a cosplay for size wise that will work for me. So yeah. Oh. Yeah, yeah. I'm still probably gonna try to see if I could do something for the actual dress wise. But I'll probably later on in another project try to bring her back as well. And also I used to do Sword Online cosplay as well, but I used to do Kirito and Lifa cosplay, but I retired those two cosplays and stuff, so that's kind of like another couple of things I've done, but I really like making OCs and stuff too. So I did have a couple of OCs, like my Ira Forson, which is a elf OC, Victorian OC, and then I had, her original name was Alana, but I know Elena, and I know I changed it. But I also have a Black Fae OC that I do as well. So I do a lot of different kind of cosplays, but mainly most people will remember me from doing MHA cosplay, because mainly I would usually do Deku cosplay and Bakugo cosplay, and or villain versions of both of them. So I also in MHA have done Ida. I've done Ida before, and a friend of mine also donated Fat Gum, so I've also done Fat Gum cosplay as well. So I've pretty much done a lot of cosplays, and I did dabble with a little bit ooh, Fat Gum. Yes, I do Fat Gum. Hawks, awesome cosplay. Thank you, Gojo. What's up? How you doing? But yeah, I also, a friend gifted me like the hoodie for to do Fat Gum. So I did do I do Fat Gum cosplay in general. So I just never could ever find any audios like serious, besides the usual haha funny. I could never find like no, a little more dialogue ones for Fat Gum, but I did find what I did find, so ain't all too bad. But yeah, but I mainly do a lot of MHA cosplay. That's kind of what I do a lot of, or Genshin. What's the other cosplays that I do? That most people would come to see. But I'm hoping to get back into MHA and stuff. So this is just kind of like getting me started. But I do want to finish the other, or try to finish the Fantasy OC, and still go on and do S Def, because a lot of people asked for that cosplay too. So I want to go on and get those two done first. You should do Uraraka too. Unfortunately, I don't have Uraraka's wig, so I really can't do Uraraka's cosplay and stuff. And I really don't have anything that I can kind of like material wise work, because I would kind of just go on and make like, see if I could try to make her a suit actually if I wanted to do her. But normally I try to like at least get the wig for the character, at least, if anything else, and I can always work from there. But out of but yeah, I done did mostly more of MHA. I did try a couple of attempts at Todoroki as well. Um, it came out. I'm still was very happy with it. It was just a little bit much with me trying to do the eye patch though. I finally found something that worked, and so I was really able to go on and finally do Todoroki. And I did also a film Todoroki version too. So, I kind of enjoyed doing all of that and stuff. And I used to do a lot of duets with other MHA cosplayers, but since so much stuff that went down in the MHA fandom, and just kind of like people being really super pushy on things, a lot of people have stopped doing duets with other MHA cosplayers, or will do duets with MHA cosplayers that they kind of can chill with and keep things at a minimum. Uh, you know, keep it chill. So, but I used to also do a lot of duets when I had my first account. I don't do it as much anymore, just because I don't have time to get on. And usually, I say, ooh, I'm gonna say this for a duet, then I never get back to it. So it's one of them things like, if I do see it, I'm gonna have to do it immediately if I see it. But I just don't be having the time to get in cosplay like I do, because I do work, but also I'm trying to look for a second job soon. So to try to a second job to kind of like try to finish out what cosplays I want to finish. So yeah. So, but I definitely get back into MHA. That's kind of like been my plan, to get back into MHA. I just kind of wanted to do these few more cosplays, and maybe we get back into one more cosplay from Genshin, and then kind of start making my way back towards MHA stuff. So, but that's kind of most of the cosplays I've done. I've done a couple of other ones. Also I have done Vampire Knight cosplay. Mainly Zero, but I've also done Yagari Toga, um, um, uh, Cross Cayenne, and them three. Who's the one character from Genshin Impact? I mainly do Zhongli. I do Zhongli cosplay from Genshin Impact. That's my main character. Kaya will be next. But I've unfortunately the quality with Kaya's cosplays have been really terrible. So I'm working on a closet casual cosplay for Kaya. Then I'll start doing more Kaya cosplay. I've also done Ryo from Risley. And I've done Nouvellette, which was kind of like a test run, tried to see if I could actually do Nouvellette cosplay. So I did them. I've done Zhao casual cosplay and Ganyu. Ganyu was the last cosplay that I done. I did a casual version of Ganyu from Genshin Impact. And then, of course, I got a casual Tanari. And I'm trying to work on a casual Sino because Sino's cosplay is also a little bit much because a lot of the parts, especially for the leg part, have started to come apart off of that cosplay. So um I have to figure out eventually a whole totally different route, but I'll still probably try to see what I could do eventually in the future to try for Sino cosplay. But that'll be a whole nother, project from ground up to start over on, you know. But yeah, that's most of the characters I've done, and also I've done Bennett. Bennett was also another recent one because a lot of people I did a vote of Bennett, Bennett versus Ganyu, which Ganyu won, and then Bennett was the winner up, and I think I did later on Bennett won, and it ended up being Ganyu second, so they like 1-1. Yeah, so I did do a closet cosplay for Bennett, which I really kind of like loved doing because they was just kind of like Bennett is one of my characters that I've always been playing her for a while, along with my Kaya, and that's kind of like one of the first characters that kind of besides Kaya got me through some things. So it was really nice to kind of finally do that cosplay for Bennett. Even though a lot of people be really super ugly about Bennett, so um, it's kind of crazy that people be that kind of hella mad over Bennett from Genshin. But yeah, I do have to be careful sometimes when I'm doing that cosplay, just because people have an issue with Bennett in general and stuff. And yeah, there are other fire characters that's kind of better than Bennett, but I like using Bennett. And it doesn't really, Bennett don't really have, all the stipulations like some of the fire characters for Genshin. They got something that you got to do, something you got to incorporate, or a stat that you have to have up on them for them to be able to work. So um, and Bennett, all I gotta do is make sure he have plenty of energy recharge, and I'm good. So, but that's most of the characters that I have done on the Genshin side. Um, I don't think it's really pretty much anybody else that I could really actually honestly think of else on Genshin that I wanted to do. Hold on, let me get this right here. I kind of knew this was gonna end up happening. Hold on, give me a minute. All right, there we go. We back. Sorry, they gave me the puzzle of death. You know, they make a puzzle, put it across, trying to kick people off of the live, saying, "Are you there?" When I'm looking straight at the camera, I'm here, which is crazy. But I think the only other person that are possibly in Genshin that I may want to do would probably be Aoife. Aoife would probably be another one that I probably would be interested in doing because I really did like his character. I just didn't really like how Genshin kind of like boiled him down to like a dude bro along with Orion. So it kind of like, man, he a vet, he doing things, and y'all, you know. But that would probably be the other cosplay from Genshin. If I ever did actually do a Genshin cosplay, it'll probably be Aoife. It'll probably be Aoife. But that'll probably be the only other Genshin cosplay that I probably would do. So yeah. So that'll be probably about the only other one that I would kind of like actually do for Genshin. Otherwise, I don't really have any other characters that I'm kind of just like been super interested in doing. I've pretty much done each one I've wanted to do, which is, you know, Zhongli, Zhao, Nuvalet, Ryo, Kaya, Bennett, Ganyu, so, and, you know, Tanari, so, Tanari and Sino. So, I've pretty much done all the characters that I really wanted to do in Genshin, but Aoife would probably be like my side quest cosplay if I really wanted to do any other cosplay. If I wanted to do any other cosplay. So yeah. But that would kind of be the general idea. I did have a little bit of fun doing Ryo because I did make his weapons from other material and stuff, and his handcuffs and all that other stuff. So you know, I just kind of like enjoy kind of making all that stuff from scratch, and you know, also a lovely mutual kind of like donated the wig for Ryo out of my Amazon wish list, and so I was like, oh, you didn't have to, but I appreciate it though. Telephone age straight up. And another one is Skittles. You know, they kind of helped me with some of the getting the material stuff too, but yeah. So Aoife would probably be like the one more person out of Genshin I would probably want to do. And out of MHA, I think I've pretty much done everybody I done wanted to do in MHA, because I also did Shigaraki at 1.2 for a try. I did do him for a try too. So, I kind of pretty much did everybody I kind of wanted. Thank you for the share. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah. So I pretty much got done most of the MHA characters that I kind of wanted to actually get done. But Hawks, I kind of like just decided like we gonna give this a try. We'll see what I can do with Hawks and stuff, even though I wasn't really gonna have everything. And like I said, I do have the wings. I just never did end up putting the red wings on it, so I ended up doing this instead. And then the manga come out. So I'm still technically accurate. But I will be getting back into MHA cosplay soon as I have a little bit more time. Like I said, a lot of stuff is going on in life, and also like I said, I'm looking for a second job, so to be able to get some funds to kind of work on finishing up a couple of cosplay projects. And if I did do anything else, I probably maybe do one more character from Ilyasha. I'll probably do one more character from Ilyasha if I could. So that would kind of be another character that I would kind of do if I could possibly do that. But that's all down the road. We'll see in a future thing. But I do have like at least probably like three more cosplays that I'm current. Well, yeah, I'll say three. If I can find a place to reorder the materials, then it'll be three. But otherwise, it's gonna be two for right now, which is Ed Death and my excuse me. It's there from Agani got killed and my fantasy OC. I had one more fantasy OC that I wanted to do, and I need to fix my dress for my other OC, which was the Victorian OC. I need to do some repairs on that dress because that dress is I think in 2 more months it'll be 10 years old. It'll be 10 years old, I believe. So it's time for me to really kind of like find a new dress. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find a new one possibility, and still try to uh do that with the fantasy OC. Let me get a drink in. But yeah, but at least possibly maybe we'll have three more cosplays that I can do that I kind of like project wise. But then also I will be trying to get back into MHA content again. So I'm gonna kind of get everybody together. Um, Another one that I did a few on also was Hotel Has Been. I did Alistair and Vaggie. So I did Alistair and Vaggie. That was kind of like the two characters that I wanted to do out of Hotel Has Been. So it was really nice to kind of get them characters together and also off my list because that was kind of like two of the cosplay I wanted to get done this year. So to actually see them actually get done this year, I kind of like they really made me super psyched, super happy, and glad to see everything how it go. So, if anybody got any questions, other questions to ask me, feel free. Like I said, I don't just cosplay. I do occasionally talk about anime. Um, I do talk about anime somewhat. Not like I used to, just because how rough the anime community has been lately. So, and people don't want to just have a simple discussion of talking about anime. And opinions is opinions, but people get a little bit too heated now. So it kind of then took the fun out of actually having an anime argument and all that stuff, just because people have gotten heated to the point like they want to cuss you out and say this, that, and the third, and it's like. That was so unnecessary. All you had to say you didn't agree with my anime opinion. And I said, cool, fine. End the discussion. You ain't the person I'm looking for. Or you not the type of person to have an anime discussion with. So, I used to kind of like talk about anime stuff a little bit. I still might try to bring up a couple on occasion, but I don't do it that much. I try to keep it strictly to the cosplaying and the gaming side. Which I play Genshin, I play Honkai Star Rail. I also did a closet cosplay for Honkai Star Rail. I did do Lune from Honkai Star Rail. That's kind of like another one I did. I mean, I was happy with it, but I would definitely love to do some improvements in the future for it. And then we getting this new version of Hung coming up in the next thing for Honkai Star Rail. So, might see what they come out with in the future. Like I said, I do play Cookie Run. Let's see. Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, Cookie Run, and Withering Waves. Withering Waves, I'm still trying to work out the kinks. I can play that on my laptop and do a stream for it. But I am kind of like saving up because they do got a couple of new characters that I want. Hey, how you doing? What's up? Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Hey, Manny, how you doing? But hello, hey, Manny. But yeah, I do have those are the couple of games I do play. So every once in a while, I will post some gaming on here. Oh my god, love the cosplay, though. Oh my god, thank you, thank you. I decided to get back in Hawks, and since everybody voted for Hawks, I thought I might as well get back into it. So I do appreciate everybody voting and showing love and stuff. Cause honestly, I was like, I thought nobody really wanted to see my MHA cosplays anymore. So, so this kind of made me feel really happy that people still wanted to see my cosplays for MHA. So I'll try to get back into MHA again. Um. Oh, okay. Oh, that's probably TikTok trying to talk about turn your music down or we gonna give you a copyright. Good Lord, can't stand. Good Lord, TikTok. It's just music. But that's okay. I ain't worried about it. I've been running this long. We don't care. We don't care. Yeah, I'm gonna get back into MHA cosplays again and just kind of like run through the gauntlet, but I try to keep it down to the few cosplays that I kind of really wanted to get back into. um, Somebody already said they wanted to see my Kirishima stuff, so I try to at least do some reposting on that and stuff. But yeah, I definitely get back into my MHA cosplays and all that stuff. Just let me finish these last couple of other ones that I had just like from ideas unfinished. So like I said, besides SDF, I got one more fantasy OC, and if I could get the other one together, depending on if I can get materials, I'll also do that one. But it's a lot of cosplays I do want to do in the future. It's just right now financially and with the tariffs going on, it's just kind of like I'm gonna work with what I got. But I will be trying to incorporate more MHA stuff, but I'll be picking characters that I can kind of like won't take me too long to get into, and I can kind of just go on and make some content and just get straight to going live whenever I decide to do that, and try to get my schedule together. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely get back into MHA cosplay again, and I just thought I'd do since everybody voted for Hawks, hey, might as well go on and start with him first. Then we'll work with other stuff later on when I have a lot more time and resources. But if anybody do have any other questions that they want to ask, like I said, I don't just cosplay. I talk about anime. I game. Um, I do some drawing, but I haven't drawn in a long time, so I'm a little bit rusty. So I'm gonna have to get back into that when I can have a little bit more time to myself, you know, and kind of see what do I want to draw and stuff. I have about one or two ideas. One of them being my channel art for YouTube. I need to redo that, or I have a plan B option, which I might go with my plan B option for the time being while I work on my main channel art for YouTube. So, so let's see how everything turn out. Like I said, I do have a few more videos that I'll probably end up making for Hawks. And I'll post them during the weekend and part of the beginning of the week, and then I'll try to work on the next cosplay, which is Estef from A Ghana Got Killed. And I'll try to see if I can find some audios for her. But I think the last time I struggled trying to find audios for her too, so I had to just come up with some random stuff. And like some of them things ended up probably getting muted, so I'll probably have to go back and find me some other options. But definitely, also I'm gonna do a video where I'm gonna have, have Hawks right beside SDF, but since everybody voted them kind of together, so you know I will do a video where I'll be at SDF going next to Hawks, so be on the lookout for that. But if anybody is interested in any other of my MHA cosplay, please let me know in the comment section what you want to see or see more of. I know somebody, I'm gonna do a repost for Kirishima and Villain Kirishima and Fat Gun. So I do know some people did request on those. So oh Lord, what is that? We ain't gonna worry about that. That's a TikTok being TikTok. And to the persons who are reporting this live, just know I'm still gonna make the content even if I don't have live access. So just letting you know that. And cause I'm just gonna start making content anyway, cause I wanna grow my account again, and I'm a returning person to TikTok. So, you know, got my first account. Well, I wouldn't say that was my first, well, that is technically my first big account, but I did have another account that got banned, so this is like my third time coming back. Your account been growing. Thank you, Manny. I appreciate it. I'm trying. But I am happy. I did finally reach my goal of 3.2 and stuff. Next goal will be 3.5. So, let's go. Your account got banned. I miss it. Yeah, yeah. That was the one that had everything all all my duets that I did with other cosplayers and some of my OG MHA stuff when I didn't even have none of the stuff to do MHA content with. I just had the wig and just doing silly stuff and having fun with it and stuff. But I'm gonna try to see what I can do to try to see if I can build back up. I really would love to try to get back to 10K again, but honestly, we really don't know what's gonna be the situation with this app. If it's even still gonna be here. So we go through this rigmarole every year pretty much since then, but this might be coming up the little final. So that's why I am on Instagram and I do have my YouTube as other places that I'll be doing cosplay or gaming or other stuff like that. Uh, Excuse me. Instagram might be a little bit tricky. I'm finally getting some traction over there on Instagram, but they kind of finna start to change the rules over there about how many followers you can have to go live. So Raiden Shogun is the best character in my game opinion. Uh, I would say Raiden Shogun is pretty good. It's just that she is very hungry. So you really gotta come with the artifacts and the correct stats for Raiden Shogun to work. I would love to get some more constellations on my Raiden Shogun because I feel like they need some constellations desperately to kind of do their job, but with Genshin coming out with so many other characters and especially new characters, and we finally about to reach Nod Cry finally. So this means we finally getting into the final scratch of Genshin. Hopefully, the final scratch with the story where we can get more of a understanding and stuff can be tied together. But yeah, but they got so many new characters coming up. I'm trying to say for I forgot her name. Was it Iana? But she the moon character, the moon goddess looking character. I'm saving up for her. Bad type. No, I knew what you was saying. I got you. I'm a bad typer. Half of the time, nobody can understand what I type either. Because, I'm thinking miles per minute, but then when I type it out, nobody can understand. So, a lot of people get misunderstood when I'm typing stuff. So, because my brain is going ahead. My brain is saying out loud what I want to type, but once it's processing different, and so it doesn't come out right. Yeah, it doesn't come out right. So hey, Venture, how you doing? What's up, Slayer Venture? Hey. But yeah, I'm like, so don't feel bad. I knew what you was saying, because I do that all the time. I be excited to type something out, and then it just be a full mess of typos and everything else, and everybody like, what? Because I had to end up deleting a comment yesterday off another creator and eventually had to block them from Genshin. Not Genshin in the game, but on here. Because they kind of was talking about stuff that could be changed in Genshin, and I mentioned that Genshin needs a skip button for like most of the quests, so we can kind of get to the brass tacks of what's going on. And you know, if it's a character we not really interested in, or NPCs we not really interested in, we can skip on through that and get to the part of the story we need the information on. And I said that, and I think I also said something about co-op. Well, it was coming from a Withering Waves. Never mind, they was a Withering Waves content creator, and I mentioned something about co-op because I said I really didn't want Withering Waves to have any co-op inspired events, because I feel like people are not ready for that kind of madness, because it's already kind of like an issue in Genshin, especially when it comes to doing co-op events with people, and just people being, especially if DMs are open, people being right dang nasty. And even if you use the correct character or this and that, people being nasty in the DMs. So, you know, I just feel like right now, Withering Weaves needs to hold off on that aspect. And they kind of like did the dot dot stuff, which I come from the dot 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 generation. I already knew what you was finna go, so I went on and just blocked them. Hey, Carmeracle, how you doing? What's up? Hey, hey. But you know, but they supposed to be doing an update to Withering Waves in the co-op section that they say they gonna do, where we can bring more than one character into co-op. But I just honestly felt like Withering Waves is not that type of game for co-op. I'm doing good. How are you doing today? I am doing fair. I will say I am doing fair. It could be better, but I'm doing fair. And I'm just really happy to finally get back into cosplay again. I love your cosplays. Oh my god. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I said, I'm happy to get back into Hawks again. And I was kind of doing Hawks because everybody voted for Hawks, but also, you know, to see if people would be back interested if I went back to going into MHA cosplay again at any time. And, you know, it's still, of course, every once in a while I still go back to Genshin cosplay, but, you know, testing the waters, testing the waters. A lot of people voted, which I thank y'all so much for voting for Hawks, but yeah. So, but thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah. But yeah, unfortunately I had to end up blocking that content creator for Withering Waves, because it was like I just really felt like Withering Waves ain't ready for the co-op madness. I wonder what you'll be for Halloween. I mean, Halloween, I dress up every day pretty much. Halloween is whenever I get in the cosplay. I haven't really thought of who I'm gonna do yet. Um, I have some ideas on some characters I want to do, but then I might just get back into another cosplay and put it down to a vote. So we'll have to see what I'm come up with. But at the same time, you know, I might just do a cosplay I've already done before and kind of just chill for that night. If I'm not busy on Halloween. That's also another thing. If I happen to be busy on Halloween, I might have to do my Halloween stream early. You should be Hasabame Me Cute if you haven't. I haven't cosplayed Hasame Miku because I don't have her cosplay or wig. But I do Kaito and Taito from Vocaloid. I have done them too. Um um a lot of people was crazy about both of them. That would be nice. Oh my god. Okay. Well, if I come up with something, I put that as one of the voting things. You should do Nero or Miku. I gotta have all the stuff to be able to make all of this, y'all. But I do appreciate the voter confidence. I appreciate the voter confidence. I do love my Vocaloid stuff though. I do love my Vocaloid stuff, so I totally get you. I totally get you. I totally get you. But maybe one day Miku will be on the list and stuff, so I can have it go with my Vocaloid OC that I made before, or Kaito, cause I'm a big Kaito fan, so Kaito like one of my favorite Vocaloids. Oh my god, you should. Actually, people have been requesting for me to do Toji from Jujutsu Kaisen, but like I just kind of like just put him in my Amazon wish list, and maybe somebody will get it for me. Maybe. I'm gonna be Consonate Teto for Halloween. I might post a face reveal. Carmel Arrow, if you want to do a face reveal, you can, but make sure you are comfortable with doing a face reveal because it takes a lot to put your face on the internet and have people on the internet and just be ready to block haters for and so many other things you gotta worry about. For me, it'll be if coworkers find out that I cosplay. I've been dodging that bullet pretty good. But for other folks, school and stuff, people from school and all that other stuff, I might delete right after the day of Halloween. Yeah, you can do a post and then delete it real quick. You'll be so fine. Oh my god, seeing you cosplay Toad, it would be so god. Good grief. I done had so many people say that. So I might throw Toji back into the Amazon wish list and see what happens. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how stuff going. We'll see how stuff going for that. Like I said, we'll have to see if I'll be able to save up enough for anything. But I appreciate the vote of confidence, cause I'm like, honestly, I might could see myself doing Toji, but also at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, will I look good? We'll see, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Like I said, I do have options. Like I said, I was thinking about planning to do probably maybe Vocaloid for Halloween, but we'll see if I have anything else that I could do for Halloween, if I have any other ideas. So to be determined. We'll see. To be determined, but don't listen to me, Gara. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I mean, a lot of people. No, see, that's the thing is, you're not even pressuring me in it. I just know a lot of people have straight up requested me to do Toji cosplay. So I mean I appreciate y'all giving me the vote of confidence for it. And yeah, unfortunately, it's just I would have to see financially where I'm at to continue doing cosplays, and especially with the tarot, apparently finna go up for a second time. It's really gonna cut into a lot of cosplayers being able to do a lot of things now, and so cause I done already I had intended for a surprise cosplay that I was gonna do for Halloween, but unfortunately it got refunded. So I just had to figure out what I'm gonna do. Hawks, hi. Hi. Hi, Toshi Ren, how you doing? Just got back from detention. Suspension. Hey, I understand. Like I said, I was kind of sure, I wasn't sure I was still gonna have live access again because things been getting crazy. Toshi Ren, but yeah, I was like, but like I said, I do appreciate the vote of confidence. Like y'all ain't the only ones that like said used to do Choji, used to do Choji. So I was like, alright, if I get a chance to, I will. But I appreciate the vote of confidence. I appreciate the vote of confidence. But I also know a lot of people been re-requesting MHA too, so I eventually see where I'm at after I get a chance to finish some of my other cosplays and get everything together. I see what I want to do for Halloween, or I might do a cosplay before Halloween and see how things is gonna work on Halloween. But yeah, I'm like, I got ideas. I just need to get them all together, and hopefully, maybe we'll work something out. But Halloween is up in the air for what I'm gonna do cosplay wise and stuff. So we'll see how everything work out on that aspect. Um, would you ever cosplay Gojo? I know I actually I forgot. That is unfortunately I know this is gonna make a lot of people sad, but yes, I've have had people ask me if I would ever do a Gojo cosplay, and unfortunately I don't really like Gojo. I'm sorry. I'm more a team nominee. Nominee. I can't even pronounce his name. I can't do clocked it. I would love to do Nanami from Jujutsu Kaisen. That's who I would like to do. If I do, don't end. And I know. I mean, I have watched Jujutsu Kaisen and I tried, but I mean, I still love the fight scenes with Gojo, which was awesome and stuff. But like overall, I'm like I felt like they gave him a lot of main character complex, but then like the creator just like swept him to the side. Like swept him to the side, and then like other people had to fill in the void. I mean, not that I'm saying like there are other characters. That's the one thing about Jujutsu Kaisen that I did like. It's like some of the other characters had some really rich background and like was really like, you know, you like, ooh, I want to know more about your story. So, you didn't feel too bad when everything else hit the fan, and but it did take me a couple of weeks to recover after what happened to Nami. I ain't gonna lie. I cried. I cried. I cried. He just wanted to go on vacation, y'all. And he went on a permanent vacation. Okay. I know that was wrong. I know I was wrong for that one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah. Don't ahead go like that. But I mean, I honestly, I respect people who really love Gojo. I respect that. So I mean, Gojo really made his worth. So I understand it. Not the permanent vacation crash. Yeah, I know. I know. I grieved on that one like no, it was real. Cause I was like, no. And I was like, I was starting to like, and then that was at the point I was like, I was really starting to like him too. At first, he came off like a little standoffish and stuff, but I'm like, eventually, I started to like him, and I'm like, no. So, but don't get me wrong. I understand Gojo, and like I said, I do respect people that do love Gojo. So, I'm like, I may not like that character, but I respect and understand why y'all love that character. I understand that the Aurora farming is farming. I get it. I get it. Like he can't be that fancy. Like he can't be that fine. I mean, it's the white hair, it's the blue eyes. I get it. I get it. As a person who also went through that white hair and blue eyes anime character phase, like, come on, like my OG back in the day was Shishomaru and Zero from Vampire Knight and Hitsugaya Toshiro from Bleach. Like I was going through my hair phase. Alan Walker from D Gray Man. I was going through all my characters' white hair phase. There's other cats right here. Blue. That's why I started saying all of them. Hey. That's why I said, that's why I started saying all of them. I can understand what's the big hype about Gojo. I can understand it, but I felt like there was other characters in Jujutsu Kaisen that was also just as good as Gojo and stuff. So, and to me, it was more of a personality thing with Gojo than actually Gojo's strength. That was the thing for me. Like Gojo's power, I ain't denying that. Top tier. That's one of them get into the tiers. But at the same time, I felt like they should have did a little bit more with his personality, and it was kind of like a little bit man-child, and understanding how his situation growing up, I could see how he ended up being in that category too, because he was like OP even when he was a kid. Like people was straight up still scared of him as a kid. So I kind of understand that, but like as simp factor, I'm sorry. There's other people. There's other people that, especially in the white hair, blue eye category, that are more fine. There you go, Joe. I'm sorry. But I do get it, and I do see why people flock to that. I get it, the Aurora farming, the power, I get it. But I just feel like there's other white hair, blue eyed anime characters that like fit more. I don't know what else he can do. And see, that's also another thing with like you saying you don't know what else he can do. That's what I felt. I also felt like they made Gojo super OP, but then also at the same time they like put him in a box, like, and then literally he got put in a box. That's the other thing that got me. Like you raised up the character to this high standard, but then like you didn't really do the finishing out and the follow through to keep the reputation on a high point. Like eventually it stayed up high for a while, but it slowly started to drop down. So, I mean, I totally get it for the people who do really like Gojo. I get where, all of that. But most people will go on and say, oh, it's the blindfold, it's the blue eyes, it's the white hair. And I'm like, it's other characters. It's other characters. It's other characters. Like, it's other characters that's a little bit more smooth. Like, he looked like those other characters. I mean, the only reason, especially, like, what is we? I don't know. You started that conversation. I'm saying it's other blue hair, blue eyed characters that's a little bit more better than Gojo. I'm just saying, or not necessarily blue eyed, white hair can be red, purple. You know what I'm saying, but I don't even know how we got on that conversation. I don't even know how we got on that conversation myself. But yeah, I'm like, it is other characters that like are more, really super interesting and really look cool, and they kept well, I wouldn't say kept their personality, but kept their strength all the way through the anime, versus Gojo kind of like just kind of fell off and disappeared into the void, and then like, oh, I'm back, but then you done lost so many points, since then. So it's kind of like, I'm looking for them ones that like long going, Aurora, long going. So, but I don't even know how we got out of that conversation. Don't get me wrong. I respect people that hey, I respect people's anime likes and characters that they like, long as they don't make it weird. Long as they don't make it weird, because I have had a couple of people that made a couple of things weird. In my bad, don't read. But anyways, I agree with you, Gar. But But yeah, but like I said, I respect any anime character that anybody likes. I have no issue. You know, they may not be my cup of tea, but I do. You know, I will take the time to understand why they a cup of tea to you. A lot of Gojo fans make things weird with him. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. That's also another thing. Yeah, that's also another thing. They kind of definitely some Gojo fans. Yeah, definitely has made it very weird for Gojo. But yeah, they do. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I'm not really a particular fan of Gojo, but I do understand and respect the Aurora and the power, and I understand where it's coming from. But a lot of people did make a lot of things weird, especially with Gojo and especially with Sukuna too. A lot of people made things really super weird with Sukuna too. So sometimes that kind of turned it off for me, and kind of like I got interested in other characters. And I mean the same thing. I mean, oh my God, tell me about it. Yeah, I mean that's kind of like some of the reason I didn't really fool with a lot of the Jujutsu Kaisen fandom that much, because people did kind of like make it really weird. Like I had somebody that literally would spam nothing but after they found out that I wasn't really a big fan on Gojo, they kind of like spammed nothing but Gojo edits for like a whole week until I blocked them. Look, I didn't have my I didn't have my TikTok notifications on and stuff, but yeah, they did that, and then I just ended up opening up a fistful of Gojo edits. Clock it, girl. So yeah, that was also another thing. Like I said, I respect Gojo as a character and the power and everything, but also a lot of people made it really super weird, and so I really couldn't get into Gojo like that. Like I couldn't get into the Gojo simping factor like everybody else. I understand it because it's the white hair, it's the blue eyes, it's the blindfold. Yes, I understand. But a lot of people did make it weird. Toji is my fave. Yeah, and I said, I see a lot of people also on Toji, but not being. I've seen a little few get weird, but the thing is other Toji people will put those other Toji people in their place. Now that was the funniest thing that I've ever seen, that somebody got crazy. I think it was in people doing videos like take out one anime, and somebody said because Toji Jujutsu Kaisen need to go, and straight up like they got bombarded, and I mean they got set straight about that. And then they ended up saying, well, I like Toji, but they didn't do enough for them. They didn't show them. They kept going all the way down. Then, like, literally, other Toji people came in and straight up shut them down. And I mean, they was vicious. And they were like, hey, cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. We love Toji, we understand, but don't do that. Like, and that was the first time I like actually saw like somebody from the Jujutsu Kaisen fandom taking care of business on another Jujutsu Kaisen person. Like, man, for real, like, yeah. So that's the one thing I will say I give kind of like some mad respect to some people in Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, y'all will shut down y'all crazy ones in y'all fandom and take care of them quick. So I have mad respect for that though and stuff. I really wish that like that's kind of like one of the reasons I had to like step back from MHA for a while. It not wasn't necessary. It was a little bit portion of the fandom, but it was also just the fact that I dealt with really very toxic cosplayers, and I didn't realize it at the time that I was dealing with toxic cosplayers. And then also just finding out a couple of cosplayers in MHA that I really looked up to ended up being complete total jerks, or lied about things, or did all these cosplays, and there was a couple of characters they didn't like. I will be forever still pissed off at that Bakugo cosplayer that said that they really didn't like Deku, but yet they had I think they had their significant other and another person constantly dressing in Deku or constantly doing skits with other Deku people, and I'm like, if you don't like Deku, don't do no content doing Deku. If you didn't like them, but you waited till you had a big enough following, a big enough platform till you wanted to come clean now. And it just didn't make any sense. That could have been followers for like other MHA people who honestly really do like Deku and like other characters in MHA. I love Deku, thank you. I love Deku too. And just the fact that just to see some of my ex cosplay mutuals or other people in MHA just kind of like was using them just to get them a big platform and didn't really love the character. You wasted all that time and money on getting cosplay for a character you don't like. Like, I can say it's probably one time I did a character that I didn't really actually like. But for the most part, my cosplays are pretty much all characters I like, or I like seeing or have a connection with. And for you to be just doing cosplays or doing a cosplay of a character and you didn't really like that character, that really pissed me off. I long been blocked them a long time ago, and then I think it was also another content creator that I ended up blocking, and only to find out they really didn't like Uraraka either. I mean, I can understand why a lot of people have issues with Uraraka and really didn't go for Uraraka because he was kind of like the plain Jane, and they really did, they put her into the story and started a storyline for her, but they kind of left the storyline on red. And I know a lot of people going like, basically they almost nearly gave her the Sakura treatment. Like, I'ma just go on and call it what it is. They nearly almost gave her the Sakura treatment. And I was kind of a little bit mad about that. But yeah, but I'm like, I wanted them to bring more out on Uraraka, and they didn't. I love her, yeah. And a lot of people do love her. I just know they just made her so bland and plain. But I do eventually later on, they did make her come out a little bit better. And then even when the people had the, finally found out about that, Deku was gonna end up, I don't care, spoilers, whatever. Everybody should already have watched. That Deku was gonna end up in adult years being with, getting with Uraraka and stuff, and everybody like, uh, the content creator that I blocked, like talking about they never did like Uraraka, and then she ended up being number 20. I'm like, what does it matter that Uraraka ended up being number 20? It didn't matter because she wasn't aiming to be number one. Uraraka was aiming to support her parents and become a hero. That's what she was trying to do. Even though I do also see a lot of people that had like issues with Uraraka because of the parents thing, because this is a lot of people who have a lot of issues with their parents, and so couldn't get into a personality of somebody who wanted to support their parents and make sure they comfortable. A lot of people couldn't wrap their minds around that. But the thing is, Uraraka didn't need to be up in the high leagues because she wasn't doing the race to be number one. She wasn't doing the race to be number one. She was trying to make sure that she get enough money to be comfortable and do a job as a hero and support her parents. Exactly. And like a lot of people don't get that, and then people talking about, oh, she just ranked 20. I mean, she probably could have been higher in rank, but you gotta understand, Uraraka, they probably use Uraraka to help them clean debris from the buildings, from all the destruction and all the other stuff. So Uraraka didn't have time to do the doing the hero stuff and being in the limelight so everybody can see her. She was more in the background taking care of debris and buildings and doing stuff like number 13, which they still had a higher rank, but 13 has a reason why they are higher, is because they actually can change the physics of water. They can make water clean, or they can get most of the impurities out of water, or turn off water, stop water. So, probably helped a lot of people with hot pipes, sewers, buildings, and piping and all this other stuff. And so Uraraka probably spent most of their time helping with the cleanup, getting rid of rubble, floating stuff. And so they really didn't have a chance to get into the hero side of it and people seeing them. So, they probably would have ended up I would say Uraraka probably would have ended up being at least probably top 10 if they wasn't probably doing that. So Uraraka could have probably been top 10 at least. But she had a whole totally different goal when it came to heroing than everybody else. So, I can totally get it and stuff why a lot of people don't really rock with Uraraka, but also at the same time I understand, like she had a totally different purpose from everybody else. Everybody else was like wanting to be in the limelight, be number one hero, all that other stuff. She was just there for, and she was honest, money. She was there for money. She's so misunderstood. Yeah, that's why kind of Uraraka kind of started to started to rub off me, and I wasn't so harsh on her. I'm still a little harsh, but not as harsh as I used to be, because a lot of people just didn't really rock with what she was trying to do, and then didn't like the fact that she straight up said she doing this for the money, which that was kind of like what most of the other heroes, because All Might was doing everything, they was just there for the money. and the popularity, except for a handful of heroes and the ones that stayed, you know. But everybody else are like, oh, All Might do it, he got it, you know. So that was the kind of thing I was thinking. And then, like, yeah, I'm still kind of a little bit harsh on Uraraka because I felt like it's a couple of other things Uraraka could have done differently. But I'm like, she was working in the background to achieve her original goal. So, like, so I'm not as harsh on Uraraka as I used to be because I kind of understand it. But she is really misunderstood as in the point of what was her original goal, and she didn't have no goal of being no number one, and being up in the limelight and all that stuff. She was fine being in the background. Whereas most of the My Hero people in My Hero come from some kind of prestigious hero background, so they ain't got no choice but to be out there, and be up front and show out. Yeah. Hey, I mean, they ain't got no choice but to show out. So that was kind of like really, really super, super funny. How they did all of that, but still at the same time I felt like Uraraka almost did get the Sakura treatment a little bit if it wasn't for Toga bringing her back into like a state of relevancy. So I think that's why I'm more team Toga, even though it didn't work out. But I kind of like Toga the bad guy though, yeah, and she done did horrible stuff. So yeah, it got to be what it got to be. But yeah, but Toga kind of helped gave some more understanding to Uraraka. I love Toga. Yeah, I love Toga too. I like I said, I enjoyed when I did her cosplay, an adult version or older version of Toga. I love doing that one. I really wish they had made her with a better outfit though. I really wish they had made like another outfit for her than what they left her with but I loved when I did Toga. I did a more better version of how I think she would have been if she had made it to adulthood. Her backstory is so sad. Yeah, I mean Toga's story is kind of really sad because the parents didn't really understand her quirk. Like her quirk was basically based on instinct, and needing blood, and like they didn't want to try to help her understand that she was trying to tell them that she couldn't help it because she, is she running on instinct like a animal that needs blood. She working off of instinct. And if they really had took the time to realize that she can take blood and transform into other people, she probably would have been a really super cool superhero. Like, she could do missions where you can go undercover being somebody else and all that other stuff, but it just she probably would have had to have like a literal partner person to be with that can kind of like reel her in for the instinct part kicking in. But a lot of people didn't want to understand her like that, so literally. So yeah. And then after, and then it ended up turning into kind of like a twisted form of love. Like, oh, I want their blood because I love them. When it really was just like instinct to transform and not really type of love, but because the family didn't love her, she didn't understand that. And it took Deku and Uraraka for her to understand the difference between love and instinct. I feel like the team she joined set her up. Toga was kind of set up from the start. Because like she really thought that because like heroes really didn't help her in her time of need for her to sort things out, so she already kind of had a beef with heroes already. And then the fact that she ended up getting caught up in the cult ideology of um with it stained and stuff, and it turned into another, oh, this could be, I really like because he, taking out these fake heroes and all this blood, which that is just her running on straight instinct. It wasn't really even worship of Stain. It really wasn't even a worship of Stain. It was just an obsession with, blood and instinct. And because he doing so much blood and so much instinct and then doing it against the hero that really didn't come to her aid at the end. So, I mean, like, yeah. So, and then she just ended up, because she ended up meeting dang, I can't think of the I can't think of the green dude's name, the turtle dude's name. Gosh, I can't think of his name. Blur. But because she met people like him and keep saying want to say Turner, but I know that ain't it. But met people like him and Dobby that just kind of like and they and in all honestly, like they kind of like baby Toga too, so they kind of like just enhance the obsession slash instinct. So it was like she really didn't have anybody to like reel her in. They just kind of like, there she goes off causing the destruction. Oh, it's cute, But yeah, but if it wasn't for Toga meeting up with Deku and meeting Uraraka, it wouldn't have brought it all full circle of one of Uraraka's purposes for being a hero. So, in a sense, something like that. Something like something like that. But yep, I didn't know she had feelings for them. Yeah, Toga ended up, where at first it was kind of like an obsession through their blood. But yeah, she ended up because they didn't treat her as crazy. They treated her like like she was a regular person. They talked to her like she was a regular person. I'm not saying that Debbie and the others talked to her, but they still talked to her like she was kind of half crazy. Where they still talked to her like she was a regular, sane person. And, had regular, everyday conversation with her. Even with, Deku yelling his lungs out, telling her no, and, stop attacking him, or stop what you doing. He was still trying to have a calm conversation with her, even though she was like straight up bloodying him and stuff. And same with Uraraka. Like, they all covered up, bruised and beat up and everything, and they still having a human conversation with her like an actual person. And that's how she ended up learning the differences between instinct and what actual love is, or something that looked like love, and how she's saying she loved both of them and stuff. it was because they treated her like a normal person, where everybody else just, treated her like crazy vampire girl, you know. But yeah, she did eventually like ended up, having true blue feelings, for the both of them, and even ended up also. I don't know how far you got, but still be spoiled or whatever. Everybody should be caught up. But she did eventually end up confessing to Deku. Like, she did straight up confess to Deku that she like had straight up feelings and stuff. So, and then she still, and then, even though Uraraka and her had the disagreement and slash fight and stuff, she still said she loved her too, with a lot of emotion. So, it was just, the fact that they treated her like a normal person, even though, everybody else around her didn't treat her like a normal person. See, I haven't watched it for a while, so yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Manny. I'm sorry. But I mean, it's like much later though into MHA. Like, no, you're fine. Okay, okay. I feel bad because I know everybody ain't caught up on it. I'm still before it restarts up with the new season, I'm gonna have to go back to the manga because everybody did so many spoilers, and just going back to make sure I have everything straight. So I'm still right there with you. I'm eventually gonna have to probably go back again, especially through the last season again, and look at that whole last season again, because um it's a lot of stuff different in the manga from the anime, and we know this. It's always different from the manga and the anime. But I'm like, for My Hero, like, at one point they kind of did kind of like take a lot out at one point on My Hero. So a lot of people kind of like, what, you were sticking to it, but now you're not sticking to it. So, you know. So I am eventually gonna like just catch up and refresh, and I kind of started out a little bit with the other My Hero, the other vigilantes that they did have, but I didn't quite finish all of that. So I'm gonna have to also finish that too. Sorry, I feel bad for not finishing it, but they just did so many changes to Vigilante from the manga, and especially regarding some of the people's ages. Like, y'all really changed a lot of these folks' ages to be a little bit younger when they was technically actually much older. So it kind of like pissed me off a little bit with that one. So I'm gonna have to try to finish that one too, but I'm gonna try to make sure I at least go back and look at the last season just as a refresh. So I'm gonna be refreshing back there with you. I'm gonna refresh back there with you. So don't worry about that and stuff. And like, um, wow, you been keeping up. I'm impressed. You sure? You sure you gotta go back? Yeah, I do. I do need to. I might not necessarily need to go back, but that's just the anime person in me. I'm a person that kind of like thinks a little bit differently, so I think a little bit different outside of the box when it comes to anime. So my perception of anime may be really stark difference from how everybody else see the anime and stuff. So, I kind of gotta go back and watch it piece by piece to make sure I'm getting a proper understanding, because then my brain will go off to so many other theories and will come up with the craziest conclusion you could ever think on an anime. So I do have to watch myself sometimes. But I don't think I need to go back, but just for the sake of because because of them putting my hero vigilantes right in the middle of the last season of MHA instead of just going on and doing the last season of MHA and going on and be done with it. I want to catch up and make sure I'm at the right spot. And then like I said, I did look at the manga, but I just feel like the manga really didn't leave me with enough understanding. So I would rather really love to see it in its animation form to see if my perception manga wise matches up with the anime side. I know it's not gonna match up 100% because we all know when they make anime versions of manga, it don't never turn out the way the manga is. We know this, but at least get me close enough. At least close enough. Oh my god, feather came off. Oh shit! Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'll glue it back on. I just prefer watching. I mean, I understand not everybody can do the manga, and I totally do understand that because I used to be a really super, super heavy manga person. Like, I would go and buy the mangas and read the mangas, and when each volume come out, I would go and get the manga. But as over time, when I changed over to doing cosplay, I couldn't go by the anime. I couldn't go by the manga because, I'm cosplaying. That took up a lot of the cost. So, I ended up, switching over into just anime only for a while. And so, I still do go back and reference the manga. I still just gone on and check a little bit, but at the same time, yeah, lately, especially in the past, I'd probably say a year or two, I've been more on the anime only side and like just wanting to see the episodes and stuff. But usually after I done seen all the anime only side, I do kind of like at least for like the ending of the anime, I at least go back to the manga and kind of halfway look at it a little bit so to see at least a little bit of the difference. But uh yeah, but normally I used to, if I had the time, I used to be one of them folks. I watch the anime, then I would uh like do at least 6 episodes, and then after that sixth episode I'll stop watching and just let it catch up, and I will go to the manga and read the manga and see where it's at lining up with the anime only. So I used to do that a lot. I don't have the time to do that anymore. I don't have time to sit down and watch manga and do all of that. So yeah, especially within the last 2 years, yeah. I don't know, girl. That sounds hard. It is. Excuse me. It is hard. It is hard. It is hard. That's why I kind of like I've been that's kind of I kind of burnt myself out on looking at manga. Let me say like that. I kind of burnt myself out on manga. So that's why I have been sticking with anime only. So I do kind of make things a little bit more difficult, but the thing is, my comprehension, um I will go off into the netherworld and beyond if you leave me thinking to my own devices. Reading the manga and watching the anime. Keep it up where you're at. Girl, you tough, girl. Well, I mean, I tried. Thank you so much, but it does have its drawbacks. It does have its drawbacks to doing that though. Because I read OFC. Thank you. It does have its drawbacks though for me doing all of that because I do have because I do read the manga and do the anime. So I end up like going through details, and that sometimes ends up getting me in trouble with like other anime people, especially when it gets to anime discussion. And so when I bring up stuff and then people like get mad about that, and then I bring up the reference for it, and people would get pissed off or either cuss me out about it. So that's why I kind of like don't really like do much on the anime content stuff or anime side, or talking about anime as much as I used to, just because people then started to get aggressive or angry when I'm bringing actual anime facts or manga facts to an anime discussion, not necessarily an argument but a discussion, but everybody turn it into an argument. And so I'm like, that's why I don't really do the anime stuff like I used to do anymore, because it's just been like it's just like we was just discussing a certain episode. You done went into future episodes and everything else, and then cussing at me, cause so that's why I haven't really done that. And it's the same thing for anime night too. Like, that's kind of like why they don't really do any of their anime stuff anymore either, because folks done got ugly with them. Except anime night, folks have literally like threatened them. So, I haven't had that situation. I just get cussed out with anime discussions. But, they didn't actually have people trying to mess with them. So they kind of like, never mind. I just chill in my own world and chill. So that's kind of like why I've been kind of like scooching in their account, since they let me share with them and posting my cosplays over there, because they kind of then lost their motivation to do anime stuff just because people have got to that point. Me, I'm just like, I still want to talk about anime, but I gotta find the right kind of folks. Like, I like having a conversation with you, Manny, and a couple of other people when it comes to anime, because we like straight up chill. Like, we straight up chill. We just gon' even if we disagree and we don't like a character, we can still come to in the middle and say, I feel you, I understand you, all cool. That character may not be my cup of tea and it's your cup of tea, but I respect it. I still respect it, and I appreciate you letting me get my point across. Yep. So I want to find people like that if I'm gonna ever do anime discussions, and it's just either people being extremely weird or something else, or turning something into an obsession, or people bringing up facts that's not really true on the anime, and taking it to a blown proportion, and then I tell you, hey, that's not correct, but and then I get cussed out. So that's why I don't really do the anime discussions anymore like that, because It's just I just don't have time for people to who can't have a decent conversation and stuff. And I really do. I pick and choose who I want to have conversation with. Like if I know the vibe, you chill, you cool, because I'm an introvert. And if I like you, I will have a good conversation with you. But if I feel like that you not really gonna give me a safe conversation, or when things go down, you ain't gonna come to my defense, I'ma kind of not really trust you. They always want to be pressed over an opinion. Yeah, and that's and that's the same thing with Genshin. I'm like, it's the same situation with Genshin and Honkai Star Rail and Withering Waves and even Cookie Run. It's like it's not even necessarily the fandom situation. It's just generally some people are being straight up weird or straight up rude or just being out of pocket, and people ain't going to put these people in their place and stuff. And it's same thing with MHA. I'm like, I probably would have still been doing a lot more MHA, but just because I done had very weird cosplay mutual that took it to an extreme that it didn't need to go, or just made things uncomfortable, or if I didn't necessarily like a character, they got mad at me and didn't want to fool with me. Exactly. So yeah, so that's like why I don't really kind of like have an anime discussion like I used to, just because like people have gotten like super weird, or get super overly aggressive if you have an opinion that differs from them. Like I literally had to block like 3 people who got super pissed off at me. And I'm waiting for One Piece to get 100% done. Like I want to be. I hate to say this, even though there's animes out there that's even more than One Piece, that has more episodes than One Piece. I want everything to be done before I try to make another attempt at that. And then the fact that people are getting mad over Oda picking the characters for the live action, and getting mad over the pick of characters that they pick. And then also the big old debate over Toei Animation and Sanji, which, people already have a problem with Sanji and the flirting behavior, but Toei, are doing it because they don't like Sanji, and making up extra episodes, extra placements, and extra stuff that didn't happen in the manga, even for the few panels. And I don't watch One Piece because I'm waiting to see if I'm going. I want to just go on to know what it is at this point, because so I can save myself of going through all that. And they making him pervy in panels that he wasn't pervy. So now we know that the animators don't like Sanji and purposely making it him even worse on the pervy side. I know a lot of people don't like that. You either love or like Sanji, but it's the fact that the animation Toei is actually also, you know, because they don't like Sanji, they trying to find ways of not doing too much with him, and trying to find ways of not fully putting him in anywhere. So, like, it's getting to the point, like, and a lot of people have argued with me on that and just straight up got mad and pissed off with me on that. And so I even stopped talking about that. That's how bad it got. I just kind of like just stopped even bringing that up. because people have gotten so rude about it. So yeah, so that's why I don't really do the anime conversations, and I'm really picky about who I have my anime conversations with, because if another person be out of pocket, whether it be in a grouping or in the comment section, I want to make sure I'm gonna have some people who gonna come to my defense as well when things start going south, and not just let me get bombarded by people being upset over an opinion on something. And that's honestly also why I kind of like fell out also with Genshin too. Fell out with a lot of Genshin people too, because they didn't like the characters I used, didn't like the combinations I used, and would constantly make fun of the characters that I would play with. And so it kind of started to get really annoying for me. And unfortunately, I done lost several friendships in Genshin over characters, which is absolutely ridiculous. I'ma build them the way I wanna build them. I'ma use the artifacts I got on hand, and I'ma play with who I like. And it's a lot of characters that a lot of people are crazy about in Genshin that I don't like. But I will never, dissuade somebody from loving that character in Genshin. You can love that character. They may not be my cup of tea, but you can still love that character. And I'm happy for you, seeing you smiling, giggling all the way across the room. Cause you riding with your character, you playing with your character that you love so much, and I'm not gonna diminish that. But I got fed up with that kind of type of situation. And like, I even had that happen to me on my YouTube stream that I did the other day. Somebody coming up in there talking about, do you not have the characters? Do you not have the artifacts? And all that stuff. And I just had to end up getting in there saying, this is who I use. If you have a problem with it, get out. And I know it's other characters, but what you gonna recommend? I don't like them, or I built that character and they still didn't work out for what I needed. So sorry. So yeah, so I kind of like been backing away from the discussion talk of any kind when it comes to gaming, any of that stuff. Anime, any of that stuff. I just every once in a while talk about anime or gaming or something else, and then go back to doing cosplay or something else, because I'm just like, I don't have time for you to just honestly keep undermining how I feel on characters or my experience as a Genshin player, Wu player, Cookie Run player, whatever, Honkai Star Rail, and any other the other games that I play. Like, I just honestly ain't got time for you undermining me, or trying to change my mind. So, but that's a whole nother discussion. But if anybody else got anything they want to ask, last call all y'all, before I end my live and get off and stuff. So probably 10 more minutes. I'll probably be ending the live, but yeah, I don't want to hold up everybody too. I don't want to hold up everybody. I wasn't expecting to go this long. Oh my god, I didn't expect to go this long, but we had, see, this is what I'm talking about, like some good questions and good conversation that keep things going and stuff, and like we do everything respectfully. And just unfortunately right now people are just a little bit too doing too much and being too rude, and yeah, um and people have to constantly, even on videos, have to say, this is my opinion, if you don't like it, please, scroll. And then the people still come into the comment section, and I done learned that as soon as I see that, I look at it. If I don't agree with it, I'll go on and block them and be on my way. And I think nothing of it. Whereas everybody will, make it like a big issue. So, yeah. So, so I'm kind of like at the point like, bruh. So don't get me wrong. I would, love to have people that I know I can kind of like have that type of conversation like we just did, and it be chill and for real. And we respect each other, might not like what the other person said, but cool down for a little bit, and then we go back to chilling, laughing, goofing off, saying off the wall jokes, and nobody upset. So that's kind of like why I don't really do all that stuff anymore. So that's why eventually I'm getting back into cosplay again. And like I said, just seeing what I can do. We gonna see what I can do. Um, I want to do something with more lives later on, and just because I need to do something, but also like once I get my life stuff together, then I'll finish the two cosplays I had planned, and then we'll try to figure out what I want to do for Halloween. We'll figure out. We'll figure out. We'll figure out what I'm gonna do for cosplay for Halloween. Hi, how you doing, Fiction System? How you doing? What's up? What's up? How you doing? But if anybody got any other tired as hell, LOL. Hey, I understand that. I understand that. Make sure you try to get some rest and some sleep for me, because I know it will not happen for me. It'll probably not happen for me, but I hope you get through some rest, cause it is Friday. It's been a week for everybody, and I'll try. Yeah, at least try. All you can do is try. And then if it don't work out, you just gonna have to, watch something, uh, take a little something or something to try to get yourself to sleep. I'm a bit of a insomniac, so I don't really sleep that well. I don't sleep that well anyway. And I'm kind of like more of a night owl than anything else. But I'm trying to get away from that schedule, because life, and I gotta do stuff during the day. I need to do stuff during the day. So yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of keep it, but I hope everything work out with you and stuff. And everybody kind of like hopefully just kind of like chill and enjoy your weekend if you can and stuff. I'm a try, but I'm gonna probably be really, 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 really super busy. So that's why I decided to go on and get in Hawks and kind of go on and do the cosplay and get it done. And then hopefully when I have a little bit more time, I'll do S Death and then my OC, and then I'll probably have to take a little bit break from cosplaying for a while, just to kind of like, especially prepare for Halloween, and just kind of like chill out. So, I might be asking a couple of questions of everybody, if they don't mind for a while, like I do things where I'm not much on camera a lot. So we'll see. We'll see how all them plans. We'll see how everything works out. But if anybody got any other questions they like to ask, I do appreciate everybody just loving the Hawks cosplay. I got more stuff I'm gonna post. So, yeah. So I do appreciate everybody. I'm gonna go on and call it a night and get out of cosplay and kind of wind down and give me a little snack and see if I can try to rest for a little while. Might not happen, but I'm gonna try to make it work. Everybody have a wonderful weekend, or hope your next week is well. Thank y'all for coming through. I appreciate everybody showing love on Hawks. More Hawks content coming, and I'll post it. And I just appreciate everybody who actually came through the live. Even though this live got reported and it's on a restriction, but I do appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming through. Everybody take care. Have a good night. And thank you for voting for Hawks from MHA. S Death for Game Got Killed is coming up next for cosplay. So coming soon. Thank y'all for being here, and everybody have a good night or morning. Catch y'all later. Bye everybody.